Welcome to an all-new episode of the 60-Second Car, the podcast that covers every single moment of the Fast and the Furious. From right now, the whole saga, but right now we're in minute 59 of the Fast and the Furious from 2001. Not the original, as we haven't covered in a while. We haven't done that bit in a while. But not the original.
I ran out of movie.
But the original of the franchise, I guess, for this franchise. My name is Dan, joined as always by my co-host with the most boast, Mr. Daniel.
Hello.
Do you know what time it is?
It's diesel time.
60-second code.
Welcome back to the 60-Second Car. We're back with minute 59. That was a great diesel time. I like that one. That was a good one.
Anytime. As long as I turn a knob and land on an effect, and you want it, there we go.
He's over here turning knobs and
Dan,
stuff.
shut up. I have breaking fast news.
Breaking fast news. Okay.
It might, at this point when it's released, it's probably not breaking at all. Because my algorithm is what it is, I have learned that there are currently 5 Fast movies in development. 5. Yes, I know. If everyone gets their way, there will be 5 more in our heroes' journeys here. And I say that plural on purpose all across the board. Because you've got Fast 11, right? That's the one we know is coming.
Yeah.
We're on a cliffhanger after 10. Cool. If Ben gets his way, you're going to get Fast 12 because he thinks it needs 2 more pieces. Supposedly, there's arguments about if 12 is going to happen or if it's all going to be an 11. Whatever. They're both in development at some degree. You've got the Rock spinoff one, Hobbs. But that could also just become Hobbs and Shaw 2. So both of those could happen. Neither could happen. One of them could happen. Who knows? So that's 4 potential movies. 4. Then number 5, we've talked about the 4, the all-lady spinoff. The Ocean's 8 of the franchise.
These are all at least rumored to be real?
They're all in development, according to some article I read. I believe it's Screen Rant. Yeah, you know how things can go through development hell. They don't make it out of a certain office or something. But these are all on the table. What a time to be alive!
Considering how much money I think every single one makes, Universal's going to jump all over that, right? I guess they got it.
I would think so.
I mean, because we got to look at Box Office Mojo or whatever website we look at now. They've got to have, every single one has got to have made its money back and more. So, like, they've all had to have been profitable. I couldn't imagine them not being. I imagine Fast 5 being the most profitable, or maybe even 10, actually. I'd be curious to see which one actually made the most money.
Gotcha. So, according to BoxOfficeMojo.com, IMDb powered pro, whatever, you've got the entire franchise here. Weird, why are there 12? So number 12,
it should be 11,
we have,
right?
Yes, but this makes sense.
Okay.
We have the 2021 re-release of The Fast and the Furious. Apparently, it came out again in 2021. I don't remember. That's the 20th anniversary.
Oh,
I guess it makes sense.
Like at least national, actually in the theaters. That would make sense. Yeah. Okay.
Sure. Number 11, you've got Tokyo Drift, A Crime.
What the heck? That's weird.
Number 10, you've got Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 9, you have the OG, The Fast and the Furious.
Really? Okay.
Yes. And this might be telling about how many more of these we get. Number 8, we have Fast X.
Really?
So,
Huh.
So then, I don't know how much it costs, but your lifetime gross is $145 million.
I mean, they got like $100 between the two of us, right? That's good. Good chunk.
And I have the physical copy. I saw it twice with somebody. Yeah, it works out to about that. Number 7, you've got Ampersand. Number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6 is Fast 9. Number 5 is Hobbs and Shaw.
Number 5 is Hobbs and Shaw. That's
Number
crazy.
5 is Hobbs and Shaw.
Idris Elba pulling
4.
his weight.
Yeah, all you need is Cyborg and those butts and seats. Number 4 is Fast 5.
Okay.
Number 3 is The Fate of the Furious. Number 2 is 6, and number 1 is 7.
What the heck?
Yeah.
I don't even really remember 7 that well.
7's a big old plane.
Yeah. Oh, that 7 was Giselle, right?
Yeah, it's the never-ending runway in Giselle.
Right.
No, wait, is that her name?
Giselle?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it's Giselle.
Okay.
I think so. That's the one I always forget, and I'm pretty sure I'm like flabbergasted that I remembered. It has to be, because what does she do in 6? Is she even in 6? I know. I'm pretty sure 7 is.
Which one's 6?
So I just had this conversation with some people as well that are fans, because I was confused as to which movie starts off in Cuba, Cuban Nos. I was like, is that 6 or is that 7? I'm pretty sure it's 6.
Is that not the one with Charlize, which would be 8?
Starts off in Cuba with his cousin?
Yeah, because then isn't that
Is
where
that
he
8?
meets her when she's fixing the car and he walks up and she's like, "Oh, it's me. I've got dreads." And he's like, "Oh shit, it's you." And she's like, "I've got your kid."
That's not the one I'm thinking of, I don't think.
Okay. I mean, I could be wrong. It's unfortunate they run together.
It is kind of crazy, though, to think about what exactly happens, because assumedly little Brian, little B, is conceived between 5 and 6, right? Because
Well, yeah, because 6 is Michelle Rodriguez not remembering anything.
right, and
Okay.
that's where that's where Dom gets back with her. So him and I actually don't remember her name either, her
Nope.
character name. They're not together at all in 6, right? I don't even think they're together in the beginning.
Doesn't she die in 5? Die?
No, I'm talking about little B's mom.
Right, but I thought then
She does not. She's with him at the end of 5. They show up to Brian and Mia's little getaway house at the end of 5.
Okay.
Wait, not at the end of 5. It can't be the end of 5, because doesn't he go to jail?
Okay. 5 has The Rock, right? That's the first with The Rock?
Yes.
That's when in the credits it's revealed that Letty is still alive.
Yeah.
Via what's her face? Eva Mendes? Right. So then 6,
Yeah.
They reveal she's still around and she's got amnesia.
Mm-hmm.
So they get back together at the end of that. So at the beginning of 6, he's still with her, with Little B's actual mother.
The beginning of, but like, is she at all in that movie? I feel like that whole thing
Letty?
ends before the movie even starts. No, Little B's mom.
What's her name?
I don't remember her name.
I'm trying. Wait, there we go. Elena. She is in 6.
She does.
Way down the list. But
Yeah, she's got to be like a reference at most. There can't be much. I can't imagine there's much. Because I don't remember her at all in that. And like, because the reason I bring that up is because I don't remember like a breakup or anything. Because
I think the breakup is like they find her, she looks at him, she's like, "Oh shit, okay, fine." And then like she's around, he looks at her and she's like, "Yes, go." And that's kind of essentially it.
That's weird. So
Yeah.
so then that begs the question, is little Brian born yet? No, you know what?
No, because she surprises Dom with Little B in 8.
Right.
That's what makes him go bad.
Right. Right, because he doesn't even know he has a kid. Well, but he's like 1 or 2 at that point, right? So it had to have been.
Yeah.
So like that whole timeline between when little Brian has been conceived and born, that's a little
the
funky.
Little B thing is very weird.
It's a little funky because there's a whole. Because if that timeline makes sense, there's 2 movies in between that, in between him and Elena getting together and little Brian being 1 or 2 years old. In fact, I don't even know was he born with a different name, because I'm pretty sure he's named little Brian during 7, or at least the beginning of 7, when when Paul Walker passed.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. When he reveals him at the party, that's after he picks him up out of the plane, essentially, right?
Yeah.
That's after the Shaws not kidnap and rescue him.
Right. Yeah, that's when Deckard gets him off the. He rescues him. No, he transfers him via the plane, or brings him home via the plane, or he rescues him from the plane. Right.
From the plane. Him and his brother break in through the plane, and they like put headphones on him, and then it's like a fun little.
I thought his brother's dead.
Thing. Dude, I don't know what they do with his brothers. I thought he was in that. I thought both of them got on the plane. That was like the big thing. I could be wrong.
I thought his brother died in the plane crash with like the same time, right after Giselle. But I could be wrong there too. I don't remember.
So yeah, at no point between Cypher being like, "You have a son," and the rescue was anyone like, "Oh, by the way, your son's name is this."
Yeah, exactly.
He's just like, "I have baby now. Baby needs name.
Right.
Little B. This is Brian." And Cypher's like, "No, he had a name. Did you not hear me when I said it?"
Yeah.
While we're in the fish tank, before you put your cross up, I said his name is Gary.
Actually, now I'm curious if his name is ever even like whispered in Fast 8 or Fate of the Furious, because his name is obviously his name is Brian, which is obviously named after Paul Walker's death, which is during 7. Oh, fuck, I'm confused. I'm all over the place, man.
Did I tell you the weird thing I learned that I think is obvious trivia, but like all these friends name their kids after each other? Like Vince's kids are named after Dom.
Right.
One of his kids is.
Yeah, his name is it's not Dominic though, is it? Oh, I guess it might be Dominic.
I think it is, but he calls him some nickname, and I just can't.
Right.
Like I text Katie about it. She's like, "Yeah, that seems normal for this franchise," and I don't recall them, but
I know. Like while Vince is dying, he talks about it. I do remember that because I watched that recently. Because that's 4, isn't that's 6 when that happens?
I don't know.
Oh no, it's got to be 5. Yeah, it's got to be 5. But yeah, as he's dying, because it's right. It's you know what I know exactly what happens. It's during 5 when the Rock and his crew actually capture Dom and his crew, and they're transferring them back, and they get ambushed by the bad guys' crew, and that's when all of Hobbs's guys die. They all die in that scene. Mm-hmm. And then Dom and his crew come back and kill everybody to rescue Hobbs. And as they're rescuing, that's when Vince gets shot. And then as they're driving away, that's when he reveals he's talking about his kid and stuff like that. But yeah, his nickname isn't Dominic. It's something else. Because
I'm scrambling to find it right now. It's not.
Crap. I know because at the end of the movie, he drops off a bunch of money with the mom and says, I got what's his name? I got the kid's names back or something like that.
It's Nico.
Nico. After Dominic.
Like Dominic.
Got it. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
Glad we got there.
Are there any other kids? I don't think so, right?
Brian's kids. I'm trying to get to them.
I couldn't tell you for the life of me what these kids' names are. Because there's 2 of them, right?
Yes. There we go. So his son is Jack, named after Dom's father.
Mm-hmm.
And then, daughter doesn't have a name according to Fast and Furious. Daughter.
When do we see her in anything?
Maybe the van scene in 7 when he's like being a boring dad, dropping off at school.
Oh, but you just see like the carrier, right? Or something.
I think they're in a car seat.
Yeah, something like that. Okay. God, it's Mia Jr. Mia the second.
No, that would probably be like Letty.
Be Letty or whoever the grandma is in Fast 10. Whatever her name is.
Can they just call her Abuelita? Does she have a name?
Yeah, I don't remember I don't think she has a name. Or at least if she has a name, I don't think it's said. But yes, I wonder if because we still gotta. Is the all women movie gonna have her as the ringleader? Is she gonna be the Dom of the crew?
Maybe.
Yo.
Oh, right.
Yo.
There's so much potential there.
So I now I'm okay. I now I'm curious. Is Giselle back because of this movie?
That's what I'm starting to think.
They revived her just to put her in that next movie.
It feels like they just needed more people for it because they looked around. They went, okay, so we've got Cypher,
Letty Mia Cypher,
and then Giselle.
Oh, and then what's her name? The hacker lady.
Why can we never remember her name?
I don't know. I always forget her name though. Hacker lady. Tej is in love. So is Roman. Crap. Ramsey. Yeah, it's Ramsey for sure.
And that's all the ladies. I'm looking at the list of allies and their crew, and that's all of them.
That begs the question though. Is like, is Cypher gonna be part of that crew? Oh, I guess. You know, maybe none of them that touch that submarine are in 11 at all.
Maybe maybe this is its own side thing, and like so is the Hobbs movie, and then they all come together in 12, and that's how it works out.
And then we get
it winds up being
Avengers
an Avengers like thing. Yep.
Jesus
it's a fast Endgame.
We always thought that Warner Brothers was going to try to do something with DC, but in the end, it's Universal that's going to rival Marvel.
Mm-hmm. Sure is. And I'm here for it.
It's going to be better. It's going to be better than... as much as I am a huge DC fan, fuck Warner Brothers and all their shit. So, yeah, I guess, Universal, bring it home. That's pretty great. Oh, man. It'd be interesting to see Cypher team up with Shaw, too.
Oh, also there's a Shaw sister who was in Hobbs and Shaw. She could join the crew.
Oh, I forgot all about that. I know we see the Shaw mom all the time. And she'll probably be back for that, too. Yeah. Well, that's probably what it'll be. It'll be her. Is that Helen Mirren? No.
Yes.
It is. Helen Mirren rivaling Abuelita. Who plays her? I don't. You know her.
Oh, god damn it.
Yeah, I don't know. That it's gonna be their rivals, and they're gonna have their own crews, and they're gonna go back and forth.
Rita Moreno.
Yeah. That's
also her name is just Abuelita Toretto.
Yeah. All right. Well, if her last name is Toretto, we know that that's Dad's mom.
Mm-hmm. They're just gonna be like the elder states ladies who are butting heads to try and like control the crew and tell them how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Although actually how involved with the shady side of the family is Abuelita, because clearly Helen Mirren's all about it because she, has her own fancy cars and knows Dom and helped him out and all that. But like Abuelita just showed up to the barbecue and that was it.
I think it's very possible that Abuelita was a gangbanger or something hardcore back in the day, running the streets of LA. And then she had a son, and her son grew up and was like, I can't be doing this. We can't have our family history, family legend being, gangbanger central and, running the streets and whatnot. And so I'm going to raise my son to be different. But then he dies when the kids are like 16, 18, 15, whatever. So Abuelita comes back in the picture to be like, you want to know how to make a living? Let me show you the ropes. And so that's how they know how to become good criminals.
Okay, I've got another theory. That sounds fantastic. That's how that generation got into the crime. What I'm thinking is not only was Jack Toretto like not about the family crime thing, it's actually what split up the parents. Dom's and Letty's mom, who you never see, is off doing crime somewhere. So when they do the lady spinoff, she's the big bad. They have to try and take her down because she's gone too far.
She's the one that taught Cypher all that shit.
Sure.
she was Cypher's mentor.
Absolutely. Yeah. All for it. So yeah, Cypher's the only one that knows how to defeat her. That's why they have to team up with her after, blowing up Lil B's mother or shooting her in the head. She's now on their team because they have to defeat their own mother.
Well, they did that because obviously Letty's supposed to be the one that's with Dom, so she couldn't be in the picture anymore.
So Letty called the hit. Even when she had amnesia, she's like, get rid of her.
Yeah.
And that's why Cypher came around at all. Wow. We figured it out.
Somebody storyboard this. I need drawings on my desk by Monday. Thank you. We'll pitch this to I'll call Vin Diesel's agent or something. I don't know. He's probably with CAA or something. I don't know. They're on strike. They're not doing anything. Whatever. Can you believe it? They're still on strike. And what sucks is the likelihood. My theory is that they're still on strike because unfortunately the WGA found something to agree on, which means that the studios it kind of bought the studios more time with the actors, which sucks because it feels like, oh, well, now that the writers are back, they can start writing all these movies and then we can worry about the actors at some other point.
Mm-hmm. They got to get the scripts ready.
Yeah. Oh, well. It sucks because, you know, SAG-AFTRA went on strike kind of in solidarity of WGA, and then so it kind of feels like the WGA probably should have held off a little bit longer because of that camaraderie, but that's my own. I don't know. That's my own thing. Who knows? I'm not in it. But anyway, yeah. So I want all that to come to fruition, and I think it could. I think with what we've seen in all this, it's very possible. So Universal, get on it. Thank you.
5 more, please. At least 5.
Yep. Thank you. Bye. Back to the Fast and the Furious minute 59. We come out and we got yet another pose because he does all these things while he's still holding onto that post. He's keeping he's making sure the shed stays up. It's probably a little rickety and stuff. But he turns his face so the hard shadows kind of shift a little bit. And then we just have eager listeners and attentive, just I'm listening to all these things as it goes.
Yes.
This right here, I captured this image specifically because this is where we hear for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
I live my life 10 seconds at a time, a quarter mile at a time. For those 10 seconds or less, nothing else matters. Not the team, not the mortgage, not all these, I don't know what else he says. He says not the mortgage, not the team, not anything. I don't know. He kind of throws a bunch of people under the bus, to be honest, in saying that nothing else really matters. They don't really matter in these 10 seconds or less.
This iconic line, because like as we've been recording today, listeners, we don't do these live. I've been saying the tone of this scene has been very weird. This comes out of nowhere. He's like, my dad burned alive. I screamed a lot. Man, I was really fucking sad about it. By the way, I live my life a quarter mile at a time. My family doesn't matter. You just said your dad died, but what quarter mile are you doing? You don't drive this car. Well,
this is before the times that we've started to accept therapy. And the fact that this is macho life before people were going to therapy and worrying about their mental health, because that's pretty much what this is. He is meditating or decompressing or coming out of, basically this is him revealing that he has a stressful life and he needs to get away from it for a second or 10 seconds or less. I truly think that that's what this script was written in, that mentality of like, we don't talk about our problems. I have all these problems and I keep it all to myself. So in these 10 seconds or less, in this quarter mile, I'm
free.
Yeah. He says I'm free. Yeah, that's right.
I'm free.
So maybe he's just revealing that he's stressed out, man. He's got anxiety. I don't know.
I mean, it also kind of sounds like a weird euphemism for like jerking off. In those 10 seconds, he's free.
You're gonna go.
Nothing matters.
Hey, bro, give me a second. I gotta go run a quarter mile real quick. I'll be back.
Nothing matters then. I'm free.
I'll be back in 10 seconds or less.
My dad did 9. I'm trying to do better than that. What was that? Nothing.
Driving his big black car. Yeah, I don't know. He's just into it. He's into those 10 seconds. He doesn't care. Nothing else matters. 2001. Maybe he's a big Metallica fan.
It's only 10 years after that song. Why not? So something about that, like all the people he throws under the bus with them not mattering during those quarter mile, those 10 seconds when he's racing. So is it that during those 10 seconds he's just going fast and he's able to let go of everything and it's stress free and he loves it? Because like he does all his racing stuff with family. He races against people. So could he just go out to the middle of the desert, go for 10 seconds, drive home, and be like, there we go. Now I'm free. Time to get back to the shop. Because like it seems weird to say that because it's such a competitive field he's in, to have nothing else matter, nothing else be tied to it. But in said competitive field, he does everything with his family. How can both those things be true?
Is this admitting that his family stresses him the fuck out? That
maybe.
They
obviously
all annoy the shit out of him.
Hear those 10 seconds when I'm alone in my car that we don't carpool in ever? That's when I'm at my happiest.
I mean,
so
honestly,
he's using his family to get there.
So here's the thing, like it's kind of a thing that I think everybody sort of okay. Obviously, I love Katie, right, to death and everything. But there's so much, like I very much miss the times, and not in LA for sure. Even driving alone in LA, it's whatever. But back in like, Sacramento, Bay Area, where traffic where we lived was not really LA traffic, and you could just drive. Me being able to just zone on the road and think about nothing else is pretty therapeutic. And
I get that.
So like, if not carpooling wasn't like damaging to the planet and actually literally killing nature, I would absolutely just drive places by myself just whenever, because like back in high school I would do that. I didn't want to be at home. Everybody at home stressed me the hell out. I all I wanted to do was sit in my room, listen to music, play video games. That was pretty much not allowed. So I would just drive. And that was like the best part of my day, every day in high school, because high school sucked. So like, I totally get that. I would do that now, but I would feel guilty doing it because of gas and stuff like that. So I don't know. I understand. Also, I
feel like you're not getting the same feeling in stop and go traffic.
That too, yeah. I mean, there's very much something to the traffic, but I have, driving a gas vehicle I still feel guilty every time I rev the engine up and drive it. But I'm a guilty human in my 30s. I've noticed. Just everything I do, I'm like, I don't want to do this. This is bad. I don't want to do this. But yeah, I remember the good old days of me not having much worry in my life, other than, waiting for the report card to come home because I was never good in school, and having my dad be like, "You're not doing well, so you're grounded." And it's like, "Oh yeah, Dad? What grades did you get in high school?" Because I'm pretty sure you got by on baseball scholarships, and that's it. So,
damn.
So, I mean, it had a lot of those thoughts because it was, God, my household, it was a very hypocritical and it was crazy. But yeah, driving was very, very, very much a good time. So yeah, I mean, maybe that's what it is. In those, I'm zoning on, clutching and putting into gear and actually doing everything I need to go fast. You don't think about anything else, and you're just in that zone, and like, who cares? What? There's World War happening or whatever at any time, and I don't give a shit. I'm driving. I'm good. And then, you come back to reality, which is why it's healthy, right? After those 10 seconds, after you are done with the race, you come back to the real world, and that's what makes it healthy. That's why, like, it's okay to lose yourself in a video game or your music and not think about any of the things happening, because as long as you come back, yeah, you're good.
You lose yourself in the moment. You want to never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your
chance to blow. Now we're back. Now we're back to euphemisms. Yep.
I would say it's called post-nut clarity. That's the word you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. Everything I just talked about was not driving. Had nothing to do with driving.
Nope.
Not in a vehicle, not driving, not anything.
He's never driven a car in his life.
No,
doesn't know what
never
gasoline
driven a car. And then I just got this shot because it was very dreamy. It's very Brian being dreamy.
Is this the last? No, is this the last shot of that scene? Like he says the quarter mile speech.
So quarter mile. It's the last thing that happens, yeah, and then they kind of go back and forth with each other during this, yeah, and then they shut the door.
Sure, okay, because I guess I forgot with the door shut. I just thought it was weird to go like, live my life quarter mile of the time, blah blah blah, nothing else matters, I'm free. Cut to time lapse of the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Dinner.
What parking lot is this?
Great question. Why are all the hoods open? Is this like a pick and pull? Where the hell is this? It doesn't come into play later. Like this feels like this feels like it should be a scene in like Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul when you see something in like the opening credits and then like 3 seasons later it's an exploded bear in a pool or something.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think we come here at any point ever. It's just cars.
It looks like a track. Looks like those are track lights. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It's probably a pick and pull, to be honest. I mean, it's a bunch of old cars. It's a bunch of cars from like the 70s, 80s. Yeah, it might be something like that. I couldn't figure out what this says. It says like DuPont or something. I don't know what that is. But yeah, there's this time lapse from like dusk until straight up just pitch black nighttime, right? I don't have that.
Well, we're going to that dinner from the other night.
Yeah, but I just mean this time lapse here. I think it just goes from like this dusk to like night. And so yeah, I guess this is literally just to show the passing of time between those 2 points, right?
Yeah.
And then I couldn't tell. There's a needle drop for this scene. Is this the same track that they dropped throughout the franchise? Or is this totally different? Do you know anything about this?
I don't actually. When I had the scene up, Katie Bear commented that Cha 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 is, I think she said, like an island food restaurant or something.
It's Cuban soundtrack via Vince.
Sure, but like the soundtrack felt off, so I honestly don't know.
It felt Mexican. Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. It's like if this is the same track, which it might not be. They use this track a lot through the franchise. Like it's probably like one of the characters' tracks. It might even be like Mia's track. Who knows? You know,
so this is like
Star Wars does like character tracks. Yeah, it kind of feels like that's one of those. It might not be though. I have no. I when I was listening to it, I was like, "There's points of this that sound recognizable, but then there's other points that are totally different." So I couldn't tell if it was a different part of the track or what. But yeah, and then I didn't capture the panning across the room. I didn't see anything that was goofy, but I was like, "Oh, there's got to be something in here." I just didn't take the time to look through it. But then we finally end up at this table with the. Wasn't there supposed to be red? Was it red tablecloth or red candle?
Oh yeah,
red
something like that.
Lights?
Yeah, with the red all the shit that gets Vince all stoked about going to dinner.
Rock hard, just standing in the kitchen, rocked up.
Yeah, cha cha cha. That's what he's only thing I wrote about the dinner is that it's at 10 p.m. When they set up the date, it was dinner at 10 p.m. I didn't clock what all of.
I know he mentions candles or tablecloths or something, but I feel like maybe I don't know. Maybe he's accurate in how he describes this, but I don't remember it being that way. But yeah, so this whole minute is this table, by the way. I think even part of the next minute. So it opens up with them talking about the crew. The gang.
Brian's actually like. He's doing police work here. Yeah. He keeps calling them a gang and he's trying to find out the origins of the gang. Oh, they're not a gang. They're a team.
On his date.
Yeah.
What a jerk.
And things he says in future minutes make it even more jerk-like because then it feels like he might be lying to her. But come on, put your cop hat away for
after
like a
this
minute.
movie, the next time they see each other is at a diner. So it's very similar. Maybe it's reminiscent of this scene here. I don't know. This is actually no, we didn't even get into the conversation yet. This is the last piece I have in this minute. But he does ask, so how did the gang come about or whatever, or something like that, and then she mentions that it's a teen,
Yes.
even though
And that's how it ends.
She's 18, so she's just a kid, so she doesn't know much about this.
Man, there's some weird age shit coming up.
Oh man, yeah. Age shit and like, but also explanatory. There's some shit that you only, if you're, your standards aren't quite there yet at this age, so it makes sense as to why you totally went home with somebody in the back of the car part shop.
Dude, I fully forgot he just lives there. I don't know how. Oh man, I died laughing rewatching that today.
Oh my god, we'll talk about this you won't hear it for 4 days or whatever, but he worked out for that scene. He's shredded.
Push-ups between takes, you got to.
He's shredded. But we'll get back to that in the next episode. With this episode, thank you all so much for watching minute 59 of The Fast and the Furious from 2001. My name is Dan, joined as always by Daniel, and make sure you go to danotage.tv/the 60-second car to find all the details and where to follow us. Follow the podcast on Instagram or Twitter. Twitter's literally just been posting the episodes going live. Instagram has some little bit of flair to it and stuff like, hey, here's the thing from the minute we talk about today. A little bit of a preview, if you will. One of these days, I'll get around to actually putting clips together so they kind of go out and people can see how funny we actually are, because we're hilarious. As well, if you're listening to this, you already know that. You've been dying laughing for the last, however time you've been listening to this. Yeah, follow us there and be on the lookout for that. Thank you all so much for liking and subscribing to the channels and to the podcast. Well, with that, we'll see you next time.
Family.